Hey guys, welcome back to Semper Mechanic. My name's Thomas. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how you can spot a mechanic that's trying to rip you off. So stay tuned because we're starting right now. Now all of us make mistakes. I have ruined some jobs. I have messed some jobs up bad, but I've also admitted it and I fixed it, money out of my own pocket, did what I had to do to fix the jobs. So I'm not talking about mechanics just messing up. That happens all the time. What I'm talking about is a mechanic spotting somebody, finding something on a car, fixing it, being something small, and they charge you for a lot of other stuff. So the number one thing, when a woman walks into a shop, that mechanic, if they're a piece of shit, if they're bad, all they think is dollar signs. A trick is, what the mechanic will do, he'll start talking in technical terms. They'll be like, your lower control arm bushings have rotted out and it actually bent your axle seal, so your transmission won't be shifting right because all the control fluid has been leaking out. I'm just making stuff up. None of that's right. But if you don't know, you don't know. So a way a woman or anybody that doesn't know anything about vehicles, take some time and just learn some basic terminology about vehicles. Because I know if I'm talking to somebody about their vehicle and they know just a few things about it, they know some words, they're like, okay, my battery's here, my battery cables are tight, so I know that's why it's not starting, and I don't think it's the starter, but maybe check it. Even if you don't know what you're talking about, if you fake it till you make it, mechanic's gonna be more inclined not to try to rip you off because he'll think you know what you're talking about. So just take some time and learn some basic words. If you're driving your vehicle and you're pressing the brakes and your car's not stopping like it should and you're hearing a grinding sound, you tell that mechanic that. But you also say, sir, when I'm pushing the brakes, I feel it shaking a little bit and I can hear it grinding. It's probably my brake pads. I think probably getting close to metal on metal. Hopefully I didn't mess up my rotor. Anything like that. Just do a basic Google search and whatever the symptom is and it says what it might be, just repeat that to the mechanic, because if somebody does that to me, I'm going to think, oh, they know what they're talking about a little bit more. All right, guys, another tip to save you some money is get your vehicle diagnosed. Because what happens, and I've had it happen to me a lot of times, I'll get a customer, he'll call me, he'll say, I got a 2014 Ford Focus and I need the starter replacement. How much is it? I'll look it up and I'll tell him it's going to be $120. It's going to take me 2 hours. Half the money when I arrive, half the money when I'm done. He agrees. I come out and I do the job. I take the starter out, I put the new starter in, I do the job perfectly. Start the vehicle and it doesn't start. Then I talk to him and he says, well, my uncle told me it was a starter, but I never really had it diagnosed. Well, now here's the issue. I didn't diagnose that vehicle, so he still owes me the money for doing the starter replacement. Now he has to pay me to diagnose the vehicle, and he has to pay me to do whatever the job is. So now he completely lost out $120. So make sure you get your vehicle diagnosed. If you're not 100% confident in that diagnosis, whatever mechanic you call to repair your vehicle, a trusted mechanic, somebody you've worked with, I would go ahead and have him diagnose it himself, even if you already had it diagnosed. Because a lot of times people will go to AutoZone because their check engine light's on and they'll plug in the code reader and they'll tell them whatever the code is. Code says P301 misfire. Well, that's not a diagnosis. That's just what the code reader's saying. Now that can point you in the direction. That's all you know. You don't know why. You still have to have that vehicle diagnosed. A misfire can be multiple things. It could be your coil. It could be your spark plug. Your fuel injectors could be clogged. It's an awkward situation when I come out and I replace the part that you hired me for and it doesn't fix the vehicle. Because guess what? You're still paying me. Because you told me what was wrong with it. I was just a parts changer at that time. I wasn't a mechanic. I was just a parts changer. A lot of mechanics do it like I do. I charge you $60 for the diagnosis. Once I diagnose the vehicle, if you have me do the repair, I'll credit you that $60. I'll credit back to your bill. So if your final bill is $200, you don't owe $200. You only owe $140 because that $60 you paid me for the diagnosis, I went ahead and credited that. All right, guys, another way to avoid getting ripped off or having mechanics scam you is when you go to pick your mechanic, don't think it's anyone. Go ahead, look up the reviews. Make sure you go to a reputable place. You don't pick just the cheapest price. Usually in the mechanic world and the world in general, you get what you pay for. Don't go to Bob, your neighbor, who gets drunk every day and he works on his lawnmower. Wouldn't go to old Bob. Find somebody that's pretty reputable, that runs a business, like me. Call me, I'll do it. You take it to old Bob or Earl. So if they're putting in your transmission and you gave them $200, I don't think it's going to work out too good. And for the pricing's all over the place. Mobile mechanics are somewhere between $50 and $80 an hour. Shops are $90 to $125 an hour. Dealerships can be $125 up to $200 an hour. Before you sign the paper, before you do anything, you need to ask them, how much is their labor rate? Most of the mechanics ain't getting paid by the job, they're getting paid by the hour. So if the job it takes 2 hours, they're getting paid for 2 hours labor. You just ask them, how much do you charge hourly for your labor? And then you'll know. If they charge $100 and they tell you the job is a starter job and it takes 2 hours, then you know you're gonna pay $200. If you're at a shop and they're saying it's $200 an hour, you get out of there. Mobile mechanics charging you over $125 an hour, it's no good. Mobile mechanics shouldn't be over $125 per hour because most of us can't give you warranties and things like that, which you can get at a shop. So that's why shop prices are a little more, because they can give you better guarantees and they can give you some warranties that us mobile mechanics can't get. If you're asking them kind of questions, then that mechanic or that shop, they're going to understand this person knows a little bit how this works. So let's not rip them off. Let's just do a good job and get out of here. And it sucks that you have to think that way, but you got to think these are just normal people. You know, there's good people and there's bad people. I mean, you got some drunk mechanics, drug addict mechanics, you got great mechanics, just people, man. And if you put money in front of somebody, a way to make easy money by just telling a little lie, you know, and get away with it, all they got to do is say, this little valve right here, it costs $150 to fix. And you need to get this fixed or your vehicle's going to stop running. Well, most people are going to be like, okay, let me get that fixed. These bad mechanics, they won't even replace the part. They'll just tell you they did. Clean that old part up. We'll spray some WD-40 on it, wipe it off, make it look new. That's all, you know, because if you don't know anything about vehicles, when they come and bring you your keys, you're just going to drive off. You're not checking the part. All you know is, okay, there's my car. It's time for me to go. When you're talking to the mechanic, and I'm telling you this because this has happened to me before, never tell the mechanic what kind of budget you have. And I've been looking at their vehicle, the car wouldn't start. I found that the battery terminals was corroded. All I needed to do was clean them up, fix the terminal, and everything was going to be good to go. It'd only take me a half hour, and he was only going to be charged a minimum of $60. But when I'm out there, the guy goes, you think we can get all this fixed up and running today for about $400? That's all I got. Even me being a stand-up guy was thinking, really? I could just say, yeah, $400 and bullshit around for a couple hours. This guy's car running and make $400. So don't even put him in that spot. What if that guy is late on these bills? And now there's an easy way for him to make an extra $350. So you have to have integrity. You can't just take people's money like that. So never ever tell a mechanic what kind of budget you got, because a lot of times your budget is way more than what you need. I end up charging that guy $65 total for me to come out and get his vehicle running. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. In the comments section, let me know how you can save some money. I might need some of your tricks. And like always, Semper Fi till next time.